What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Draper J, aka Brother Ballhead, aka the Mustache Menace, aka Mr. Brown Sipper. Put some respect on that last one. And I'm back like Stephen A. Hairline. Here to hit you with another episode of All About the Bills. And in this show, I'll review our last matchup against the Denver Broncos. And of course, it's past week, and I preview that game as well. And I also jump to a little discussion about us winning the AFC East Championship. Let's get into it. First and foremost, happy holidays. When this show drops, it will be after Christmas, so I hope everyone enjoyed the Christmas. It was very fruitful. You enjoyed your family and you tried to stay safe, social distance. Know you can't really go around and like you normally would and go see your family and things of that nature. But just, shout out to all Bills Mafia and all the NFL fans out there who just enjoyed their family and did their thing over the holidays going into this new year. All right, now, last Saturday, our Buffalo Bills played the Denver Broncos. Well, I guess, like I said, it was a semi-prime time game. We was one of the only two tickets on during that day, Saturday. And we beat the Denver Broncos 48-19. Let me jump to the stat line on that game. All right, Josh Allen went 28 for 40, 359 yards, 2 touchdowns. For the Denver Broncos, Drew Lock, 20 for 32, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, and a fumble lost. Rushing, Zach Moss led the pack, 13 carries, 13 touches, 81 yards. Motor had 8 carries, 68 yards, 1 touchdown. And Josh Allen, 3 carries, 33 yards, 2 touchdowns. For the Denver Broncos, you had Melvin Gordon, 11 carries, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. Phillip Lindsay, 11 carries, 38 yards. Drew Lock did his best Josh Allen impersonation, 5 carries, 37 yards. Receiving wise, Stephon Diggs cut up this game, 11 carries, 147 yards. Cole Beasley, my guy, Mr. Sauce himself, 8 catches, 112. Dawson Knox and Jake Kummerow both checked in with a touchdown apiece. All right, and for the Denver Broncos, nothing really just jumped out the page them as far as receiving wise. Just had Noah Fant, 8 catches, 68 yards, and 1 touchdown. Defense was very active. I told you that defense is coming into form now. We had 3 sacks, forced fumble recovery, and a touchdown return by, of course, Jerry Hughes. Jerry was showing off them the running back skills in that game, showing he had a little athleticism. I didn't even know the old fella still had it. And over for the Denver Broncos, had 1 sack and the fumble recovery. That was off that Andre Roberts special teams punt return. They recovered that fumble off. Now, leading into the storyline of that game, like I said and I alluded to in my previous show, the preview of that game. If you want to go check that out, go ahead and check that out. It's on my YouTube page. Check it out on AATB.buzzsprout.com. Shameless plug. But anyway, never was really worried about this game. Now, I knew we should. This is a team that we should just go ahead and just run on through. I mean, they didn't have anything that really worried me. The quarterback, young, still finding his way. Not to say Drew Lock is never going to be that guy one day, but, nothing really just jumped out the page. I mean, their defense on any given day could be good, but I had a feeling that Josh has seen some of the better defenses in this league. So I wasn't really even worried about this game as far as, their defense. And like I said in my game prediction last show, I thought it would be 40-15. Of course, we ended up beating them 48-19. Pretty close, you say, right? And also, in my prediction last week, also before that game in the review, the preview, I said Josh should have a big game. And it should be Diggs, Beasley, and Gabe Davis. Gabe really didn't just do anything too much this game. It was, I think, 2 catches, 19 yards. He didn't get a touchdown. That's what I was kind of banking on, for him to get a touchdown, but he didn't. But it was really Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs. And now I like the way that they're now starting to utilize Cole Beasley. He's starting to gain steam. You know what I'm saying? And now the fact that we don't even have John Brown, we don't even have Smoke out there. is it's looking good. You know what I'm saying? So now you have Stephon Diggs. He's the dog. Then you have somebody who can take the pressure off him with Cole Beasley. Then we get John Brown back. That's a recipe that I pretty much that's kind of a tandem or trio that I think should be pretty deadly going into the playoffs. Now, yeah, like I said, I predicted Josh should have maybe 300 plus, 3 touchdowns. He one-upped me. He gave me 1 extra touchdown. Threw for 350 and threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for 2 more. I knew that was the type of defense we were facing. Josh should be able to shred through him, do whatever he wanted, and it showed in the game. It showed in the game. Now, jumping over to the other side, their quarterback, Denver Broncos, Drew Lock, he really looked like a very below average quarterback. Not to say he's not going to be that franchise dude one day for them, but our defense is coming along at the right time, and it might be the defense that he faced that made him look like that. And there may be growing pains for him, or something for him to learn on moving forward. Now, before I close this out and move on to the preview, Pats week, Patriots. This game showed me a lot. Good teams beat the teams they're supposed to beat. But great teams destroy or just go ahead and just dog out the teams they're supposed to beat. And this team looks like they can move along and move into the playoffs and be very deadly. All right, now let's move on to my preview of the Pats. As of course, the Patriots played the Dolphins last week. They lost 22-12. Let's jump to the stat line on that game. Cam Newton went 17 for 27, 209 yards. For the Dolphins, you had Tua Tagovailoa, 20 for 26, 145 yards. Then throw a touchdown, we threw an interception. Rushing wise, Sonny Michel, 10 carries, 74 yards. Cam Newton, 9 carries, 38 yards. For the Fins, you had Salvon Ahmed. He carried the ball 23 times, 122 yards, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. Matt Breida, he had 12 carries, 86 yards, didn't get a touchdown. And Tua checked in with 2 touchdowns on the ground himself. Now, receiving-wise, just nothing really just jumped off the page stat-wise, really. I mean, you just had Jacoby Myers, 7 catches, 111 yards. James White out the backfield, 4 catches, 52 yards. Durham Smythe for the Fins, 5 catches, 40 yards. And Lynn Bowden Jr. checked in with 6 catches, 37 yards. Defensively for the Pats, he had 2 sacks, 1 interception. The Fins had 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. So there might be something we might need to look out for. We might need to, be looking to strip that ball early and often. All right, now, in our last meeting with the Patriots, they were 2-5. We were 6-2. 2 teams going on 2 different directions. It's hard to even believe that the Patriots would be 2-5 at that point in the season, but they are. Cam Newton in that game went 15 for 25, 170-some yards, 174. Josh Allen went 11 for 18, 154 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing wise, Damian Harris, who I think probably won't play this game. He's injured. He may be injured, or I don't know. It's getting close to the game time. We'll see then. 16 carries, 102 yards, 1 touchdown. Cam went 9 for 54, 1 touchdown himself. And Mouse, both of them checked in with 14 touches apiece, 14 carries apiece. Motor had 86 yards. Mouse had 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Josh checked in with 10 carries, 23 yards, and a touchdown himself. Motor and Mouse amassed together 167 yards, and if you combine that with Josh Allen's 190 yards they gave up with 3 touchdowns. And that might be something that might be something we might need to look at also. And that goes into my keys to the game as well in just a second. Now, my first and foremost key to the game: run the ball. Run the ball, because it seems like they have an issue or problem with stopping the run. And with Tua checking in with 2 touchdowns last week, and then Josh running the ball 10 times last time we played him and getting a touchdown himself, they seem like they may have a problem with mobile quarterbacks, and they have a problem stopping the run. So teams like this, like the Patriots, how they're built in 2020, they're not built to pass the ball. Not regularly. They built first off the run. So if you keep them playing against the scoreboard and the time clock, keep them down on their scoreboard, keep them down their time clock, and keep them playing against that time clock, we should be okay. That keeps them off the field. We hold the ball a little bit longer, and we should be getting points out of these long sustained drives, right? Now, in this game, whether it's Stidham or Newton playing, I don't really know. They're saying, I'm hearing that Stidham may play, he may start, and Newton, and let's be for real, at this point, it's over for Cam. Your best years are behind you. 15-1 Cam is long gone. 15-1 Cam is in retirement right now. So to me, if you're already out of playoff contention, you're not going to get the AFC East. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting that. You know what I'm saying? The team in Western New York has that this year. So you might as well go ahead and see what you have in Jared Stidham. But if not, if they go with Cam, this key, which is always should be pressure to QB. If it's Cam, we already know what he's about. Stack that box, make him beat you with his arm. You know, make him beat you with his arm. If it's Stidham, young QB, hasn't had many chances to be on the field. He was behind Brady. Is he that next Tom Brady? I don't know. Who even knew Tom Brady, a 6th or a 5th round pick, whatever he came out of Michigan, would be one of the GOATs. I'm not gonna say the GOAT. I can't give it up like that. Who would have thought that with Tom Brady? But Stidham, I don't see it. Rarely does lightning strike 2 times with a quarterback. You have a Hall of Fame, then another one comes behind. Rarely does that happen. I've only seen it 2 times out of my life. With the San Francisco 49ers, when Joe Montana left and went to Kansas City, or they traded him to Kansas City, however they played out, I can't remember. And they had Steve Young right behind him. Then it took so many years again for me to see it again with Green Bay. You had the Hall of Famer Brett Favre. He wins your Super Bowl. Then you have the young guy. The guy by the name of Aaron Rodgers sitting behind him. Should have won early in the draft, but they didn't. He fell to you. So you have Aaron Rodgers there. You know, you give Brett the boot, and you got Aaron. So it rarely that lightning strikes like this so many times in a row. So Patriots fans, be prepared. If you're really true Patriots fans, you're gonna see how it felt for us throughout that drought. We were waiting for Jim Kelly or somebody like Jim Kelly to come back through that door. Now let me get into some of the game predictions for this game. This game, I don't think Josh is gonna throw for 300 plus, but I think this is gonna be one of those games where he's gonna throw for 230, maybe 250. 60 yards on the ground, 60 plus yards on the ground, and 3 touchdowns. I won 3 touchdowns last week. He one-upped me. Let's see, can he one-up me again this week? Hopefully he listened to me. He listened to the podcast, or he watches the show, and he one-ups me again. Because I really think this is gonna be the game where, moving into my next keys to the game, we've gotten to see what Josh Allen can do with his arm, and he's shown the national media or the people under the big lights what he can do with his arm. But as a Bills fan, we remember that first year when the first 2 reads one open, and we had trash at receivers, and he had to run for his life the whole season. Then when they came with the design runs last year, and that was like a part of his game, I think this is gonna be that game where they show that off, because of the Patriots are very susceptible to the run. And Josh Allen has mobility, and they have an issue with mobile quarterbacks. Moving along to the next key to the game, Motor and Mouse. I predict they both should have at least 80 yards apiece, and somebody get in the end zone. One of those 2. Last time we played them, they put up together between those 267 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then they just gave up. The Patriots just gave up just last week 208 yards and 3 touchdowns. And when we played them the first game, they gave up 190 yards, 3 touchdowns. So I'm thinking this is going to be the same game plan. Josh isn't gonna throw for 154 this game. That's why I get predicted it so high, 230, 250. He's seen this defense before. He's a guy that when he sees something once or he makes a mistake once with a defense, if he gets a chance to play you again, I think he's gonna snipe you. I think he's gonna pick this defense apart. He's not gonna do too much. He's gonna take what they give him, and if it's a design run, he's gonna run the ball. If not, throw it away. Let's move. Let's live to another down. Now, my score prediction for this game, I'm gonna go with 32-20. Of course, Bills. 32-20. Like I said, I think this is gonna be one of those games where we display the run game. This is gonna be one of those games where everybody's looking for Josh to throw the ball all over the field. Oh, he has a strong arm. They're comparing him with Pat Mahomes and this and that and XYZ. But I think this is going to be the game where we display the run game. Josh shows the world what he can do with his legs, also giving them that dual threat. I mean, us, the Bills fans, we already know what he can do with his legs. This is when they're going to be like, oh, dude, the guy can run too. Yeah, he can run. We've been telling y'all that for the longest, but hey, no one's been listening. The record didn't reflect it, I guess, We told you he can run when he jumped over Anthony Barr's head that time. He was running for his life that whole season. But now he has the team around him. He doesn't have to do that too often. But I think this is going to be a part of the game plan. Now, final part of the show, I'm going to get into us winning the AFC East title. It's been 25 years. In 1995, I was 14 years old. I know, I just put a date on myself. Yeah, 39 now. Been a Bills fan since I was about 9 years old. Since that first Super Bowl run, it was the first thing I saw on the screen. You know what I'm saying? So it feels good right now to be a Bills fan. You can feel the energy. This team that we're watching has a chance to do the unthinkable. A lot of people probably looked at the Bills like, oh, that's the same old Bills. And that's why, we're getting a lot of national media hatred. That's why they're saying we're not this, we're not that. We can't, the quarterback ain't this. Or if they're not hating on the quarterback, the team ain't this, or vice versa. But we have a chance to actually shock the world. Because with the way Josh Allen is playing, and even in my season prediction for Josh Allen, and the trial of Josh Allen, when I was defending him way before the season when I started my podcast, I never in this many years, a million years, thought that this guy, this kid would make this jump, this type of jump. I thought he was going to increasingly get better. By maybe year 4, year 5, we'll see this. This is year 3. He's thrown for 4,000 yards. Thrown for, I say combined, 38 touchdowns, 30 in the air, 8 on the ground. Those are Madden numbers that this kid putting up every game. You understand? Those are Madden numbers that this guy's putting up every game. For my Madden players, you understand. This is unheard of. No quarterback makes this type of jump. No quarterback jumps out there like this. But when you have a rare talent and the right coaching around them, it can happen. It's possible. If you, like I said, if you follow me, you watch me and my team on Built in Buffalo, IG Live. We did one this past Sunday. As a matter of fact, go over to IG Live, Built in Buffalo, and check us out on that last show. We did like a review of the Broncos game. We got into the discussion, and we kind of got into like quarterbacks, And we got into discussion about Drew Lock and how we felt about him. And my guy A. Rich never believed in him, and it's time to get rid of John Elway. And I had to disagree with my guy because you never know how a quarterback may turn out. But look how they talked about Josh. He's wildly inaccurate. He's this, he's that. Pat Mahomes came out. He came out of Texas Tech. I watched him. I never looked at him like that kid that got it. He's gonna be the next dude. But you get him. You get that right raw talent. As a matter of fact, they said he was the rawest out of that draft class. You get that right raw talent, put him with the right coach, and you give him the right situation, the right weapons, and you can see what happened. His first year, he didn't play much. He played that 17th week, meaning Pat Mahomes. He played that 17th week. He played that 17th week, so he goes out there, lights it up. Okay, you playing against their second string defense. They're really not. I think the team they were playing really wasn't even. They either weren't trying to play for nothing, but I think Kansas City had their situation locked up, so they just want to see what they had. That next year when he goes out there, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the 50 touchdown, 5,000 yard season. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong. I might be a year off. It maybe was there next year. But once he touched that field with the right coach, Andy Reid, he showed you what he had. And the same thing with Josh. He just had to take a different route to where he's at. He just had to go a different way. So you never know. They said Josh was this, that, he's raw, he wildly inaccurate. But when they coupled him with Brian Dable, I was like, who is Brian Dable? But he had a resume. He was offensive coordinator at Alabama. He had coach under Nick Saban. So and that's like one of Belichick's disciples. And he was under Belichick himself in New England. So I guess he took what he already had with his years at being around championship caliber in Alabama, in New England. Because at first, that last season, it's like he turned the offense into a Tom Brady offense for Josh. Josh wasn't going deep. He was dinking and dunking. It was working. It was a part of the offense. It was, it was working well enough for us to win. But I think that was that growth that he needed as far as like the game manage. We're going to give you a whole season of game manage. No deep shots. Let's see if you can do within this 10 to 15, maybe 20-yard range. We're going to rein you in. So next year when we turn it loose, which is this year, when we turn you loose, you already have that part of your game. You already know how to do that. Now we're going to open up the playbook a little bit more, give you a little bit more command to this offense. Now, ended on that note, but it's good to be AFC East Champs. Hope everyone enjoyed the holidays. If you're looking for any more of my content, look me up on aatb.buzzsprout.com. Do me a favor, hook me up, look me up. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All about the Bills is in. Let's make this thing trend. I'm out of here. Peace.